According to all the responses, the feedback we got from me posting the first tech vlog last week, I guess I'm going to keep doing them, as long as you keep watching, commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, maybe becoming a member to this channel. Wow, thank you. This really does mean a lot to me. Hex 3D released a new model. This is Ted as an Ewok. Yeah, of course I had to print one, but it broke. Well, that's okay. When a 3D print breaks, you can always reprint another one, so long as you have the filament you want to use. This model, unfortunately, has a lot of supports that need to be removed. It's a bit tedious, but I believe that the output speaks for itself. You probably can't even tell where the TED broke, can you? I can, because I also know I can do better. This is probably one of my favorite kitchen gadgets. Use it all the time. The Darth Vader Instant Pot. I make beans every couple of weeks, depending on how long it takes me to get through a whole pot of beans. And it's easy. It's fast. It's also affordable.
Catchy, but what about a secret identity? Good day. I'm Clark Parker Wayne, a wealthy and eccentric
Good.
trillionaire, also known as... Very good thinking. Very good thinking. Oh no, look.
Do you know how to cook mushrooms? Can you Google it? Maybe AI can help. Let's give this a shot.
It's polishing.
Yeah, we're gonna make them shiny.
Oh my goodness. Ew. Oh. That's kind of moldy.
What?
It's kind of moldy.
No, that's not moldy. It's just a mushroom wrinkle.
Oh. It's got wrinkles.
That one kind of looks like a heart.
Oh yeah! For Valentine's Day!
Or a butt. Look at that! First time making mushrooms. We didn't even really
Oh my god, it looks
look
so
up
cool.
how to do it either.
It looks like, yeah, it looks so cool. I can't wait to try them.
Yeah, but smell it. Still a little hot.
Salty?
Good.
Good. Oh jeez. You literally hit me. Okay.
What?
Oh jeez. Hey, I was helping
Oh,
you.
crap. On your hand. It's in the way. Now I can go.
Damn it, what is... I knew it. You're going too fast.
Whoa!
You're kidding me.
I realized something after last week, and that is a lot of the angles I've been using with the camera have been like up my nose. Not literally, but like unfortunately you're staring this way. That's not a nice angle. So I got to figure out a way to get the camera pointed down, not up. I suppose I could just hold on to it, but how am I going to shave with one? I can shave with one hand. Hang on. There we go. You like my razor? It's a stormtrooper. Huh? The Star Wars electric razor. Did you even know these things existed? I didn't. And then I saw an advertisement, and I had to buy it. I had no choice. Hey, Chris, why are you shaving in your play shop? Glad you asked, because I'm also streaming 24/7, live, on Twitch. Sponsored by StreamYard. Speaking of sponsors, I think I've figured out a way so that if I brought in sponsors, you could actually get a cut of the revenue too. Stay tuned for details. I'm serious. Who's that pretty dog in that mirror there? What mirror? Where? This mirror. Right here. Right here. Who could that attractive dog be? No, the mirror's right here. Right there. Look, 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 look. Do you see it? Dude, you growl at your reflection in the window. What do I taste like? Chicken? Let's talk about my car, shall we? The Hyundai Ioniq 6 that doesn't have a license plate on the front. I have been driving electric vehicles for, God, ages, and this was the next one on the list, given that they just discontinued the Chevy Bolt, which was full electric. I loved that vehicle, and in doing research, realized that Hyundai had some alternative that I thought would be viable. I went with the Ioniq 6 over the Ioniq 5 because it was a better deal, even though I wanted the Ioniq 5 because there's a heads-up display. That was probably my number one disappointment when I got into the Ioniq 6, was there was no heads-up display. I'm like, dude, oh, those things are so cool. Driving this vehicle has been a dream. It's probably a little larger than I might have wanted, but it is probably the most teched-out vehicle that I've been in, and I say that every time I get in a new car. Not that I'm a car reviewer, not that I'm a car aficionado at all, but, you know, I am into clean energy as much as I possibly can be, and the idea that I don't have to go to the gas station is great. I haven't been someone who takes long road trips, so needing to quote-unquote refuel or go to different electric stations to recharge isn't so much of an issue today, at least with infrastructure. And by the time that might become an issue for me, I may be moving on to the next electric vehicles, because I usually have them for about 3 years at a time. I love the dashboard the most in this vehicle. Analog gauges annoy the hell out of me. I'm not into reading analog time. I just like, I need to know the time. Okay, it's 10:27 a.m. I know exactly what that is, because I can read it on the screen loud and clear, big, bold numbers. I love that. If I got to figure out and do all the thinking with the, you know, the hands, I think is what they call them, right? The analog hands. I got enough problems with my hands moving around here talking about cars. Wireless charging for your phone, you just put it on the slab, but unfortunately not wireless display, at least for Android Auto. It does support CarPlay as well. It does have certain features that I think are critical for me, including the speed limit, the current speed limit of where we might be at any given time. So right now it says speed limit 25 because we're next to a park, but that'll change, of course. And if you go over the speed limit, I feel it should kind of change state a little better, but the black lettering actually turns red, so you know you're going over without actually having to look at the speedometer, which is, you know, clearly right there. Oops, I just turned it off. The gear shift, if they still call it that, is here. Simply slip the knob backwards. Love the rear cameras. You also have like the bird's eye view here, and I'm still getting used to trusting these, even though I've been using these types of things for years. I still look behind me, and I still check the blind spots. When you have the feature, you can't live without it, and that's what I love about technology in the car, is that it has made driving very easy. I'm a rider more so than a driver, but you're really missing out on the features you don't realize you're missing out on until you actually use them. Backing out is very easy. It's just you put it into reverse and you back out. It'll warn you. You know, it'll let you know if something's going on here. In fact, the vehicle it'll stop. I did that. But what will happen is if it detects something behind you, it'll do that. I mean, even if it's someone that's walking, 20 feet behind me, it'll stop, like, abruptly. I'm just going to talk through the features as I'm driving, as I'm using them. I love the adaptive cruise. I use it all the time. But the controls, I got to admit, are really fiddly. I was really used to the Chevy Bolt and Volt way of doing things, which were perfect. Like, they were very intuitive, and I don't think Hyundai has done a very good job with the intuitiveness of certain features in the controls. I do rave about the technology in the car, but I will say it's almost overkill. And I don't mean it in a bad way. It's like there's just so many features and so many things that you can configure. So if you're all about configuration and stuff, this car is a dream come true, because you can tweak dang near everything, and there's so many options and menus that even I get lost. I'm not even sure if there's a search feature for, what you can do in the vehicle and tweak things electronically. On the regular dashboard, I have everything that I might need, right? I can see my range, the torque. I can change driving modes, including to snow mode. Let me go ahead and turn on the defrosters. It's got the option to just have the fans blow on the driver's side, which is great, again, for energy efficiency. And the neat thing is, with that, I have a constant readout of my projected distance, like how far I can go on the current charge, which is great. But you'll notice that it'll say fan on and off. So if I turn off the fan, watch the range completely increase. So everything that you use is kind of like Apollo 13. Like, every bit of energy that you use is going to come out of the distance. It'll tell you how far it is before you can get to the next possible charging station, although that's always a gamble. Look, yield pops up in the roundabout. So it lets me know, okay, got to yield, which of course I did. This is what I love about the turn signal. You get a blind spot view, both right and left. It's fantastic. So that way you don't have to check the blind spot. It will warn you. It'll let you know. And even here, you'll see there's the car, the representation of the car in the color, white, which is not my favorite color for a car. But there's a block ahead of me. That block, it represents the vehicle in front of me. And it will show, as we drive, vehicles in their position relative to our vehicle, as well as, if there's a vehicle in the blind spot. So this is really interesting, especially when you're on the highway. So you can see it's very subtle, but the car in front of me is moving slightly ahead. And then it's saying, hey, there's something in the blind spot there. It was warning me. But on the freeway, it's very, very nice because you just get a better idea positionally of like where everything is. You can step outside of the vehicle and actually maneuver it. So like if you were parallel parked, let's say, and you needed to jog it up just a little bit without being in the vehicle, you could use the remote key fob to actually move the car. There's also a feature that I grew accustomed to as a creature comfort called one pedal driving, where you don't have to keep your foot on the brake. You just ease off the gas. And that's also adjustable in the vehicle. So you can turn that off if you want, but I don't, because it just makes it easier. So I've learned to brake, and I've done this in other vehicles, certainly the Chevy Bolt. But when I take my foot off the accelerator, it feels like I've put the foot on the brake. And then to go the rest of the way, I just tap the pedal here, and my foot didn't touch the brake at all to come to a gentle stop. So it saves energy. It's a more efficient way of driving. That's where technology in a vehicle shines, when it makes it a better experience. And by and large, I feel like the features that they've provided in the Ioniq 6 have been not just egregious, not just, hey, it's tech. No, it adds up to a better driving experience, especially, for someone like me. All these things that just add up to make it easier. And I think as we move forward, physically, move forward into a future of self-driving vehicles, I don't know if we are necessarily there yet. A lot of these features, they feel like they're iterative or building towards that. And I'm all for it. I'm probably the only person on the planet, well, maybe not the only one, but I'm all about, the idea of self-driving, because I'm what they would call a passenger princess. I don't know if you knew about this as a term that's used. I'm happy if someone else drives. I don't want to drive. I'm not a big driver. So when I do the driving, I want to be in a car that is going to give me everything that I need at my fingertips and not be a pain in the ass. Moonroof, sunroof, whatever the hell they call this thing. The roof that you can see through. Oh, this guy's got his hazards on. Speaking of hazards, I love the fact that the hazard button is giant here, because like I've been in vehicles, I'm like, where the hell's the hazard? You can't find it. They put it like right there. You can't miss it, and I love that. You've got to remind me to tell you how you could use your smartphone as a digital key for the car, which I think I just explained, so I don't need to explain it again. I really don't know if you're interested in any of these menu items, apart from maybe Hyundai Pay, which is yet another way to pay for things that I'm never going to use. For now, the only menu item I'm interested in is, I'm getting it, an Impossible Whopper. It is Whopper Wednesday. I am not a burger influencer, fast food influencer in general, nor am I a car influencer. I'm not an influencer. Influencer is a word that marketers made up. I'm a creator. Influence is a byproduct. I hate the term influencer. Hate it. It's a byproduct. I might influence something, but that doesn't make me well, I guess technically it makes me an influencer, but don't call me an influencer. I'm a creator, and right now I'm a burger eater. Why is this interesting? It's impossible. It's impossible. Why? Because still vegan after all these years. Oh, okay, $3 will get you an Impossible Whopper or a regular Whopper every Wednesday. $3. Every Wednesday. This is my treat. I think the only thing that's impossible around here is me carrying a tune. It's in the garage. Should I lock it? I can, from the app. If you could make a living as a Minecrafter, would you do it?
Yes.
For the rest of your life? Nothing but Minecraft.
You're way too cute. You will never be out of my hands, my little stinking hands. You're always going to be around me, my little baby.
It is cold outside this morning. Lead the way, Rocket. We've got to replenish the geocache. Add a few more 3D prints. Because when we looked yesterday, all of the items that we originally put in there were gone. Morning exercise is good for you. You know what else is good for you? Walking backwards and not tripping. Huh? We hit it very well.
Can I get something?
You already got something yesterday. This is the cereal you wanted this week?
Yeah.
All right. We're watching old Saturday morning cartoons and commercials, vintage commercials. See, there used to be characters at McDonald's. It's going to be a busy day today, going to a couple of meetups before taking Jedi to the daddy-daughter Valentine's Day dance. Usually my days are not like this, so it's going to be a good vlog. Just making sure the first layer is going down okay. These are QR code business cards that I generated online. And it should work for you if you hold your camera up to the screen. If you are able to hold your camera up to the screen, that should take you to my bio link. So I hand these out if people want to know where they can find me online. Going to the Twitch meetup, going to the Threads meetup, and I love handing out the little Cali dragons in various colors. It's a great way to introduce myself to other people that I don't yet know, as opposed to introducing myself to people I already know. When most people think technology, they think the latest hardware or even the latest trends. But one of the things that has most compelled me about tech, and really what got me started with it, is connecting with people. And I'm still very, very passionate about how technology connects us. I mean, think about it. We were geocaching this morning. What was that? Well, it was using technology to do something in the real world and potentially meet other people or impact their lives in the real world, starting virtually. Or even what I'm doing today, going to 2 meetups, one for Threads, a network I'm very active on now. It'll be great when it's a part of the greater Fediverse, because I'm also on Mastodon, to be able to own my own social graph. And then Twitch, which I'm also very active on. These virtual... Oh, come on, really? That, to me, is what is interesting about vlogging, to better be able to connect with you, but also using technology and talking about technology, not just for the sake of, here's the latest gadget, but like, here, look, this is how I use technology to connect with other people, to do things in my world, and just to enjoy life. Don't worry, I'm parked. We're kind of on a waterfront. There's downtown Seattle. Ish. Quite a few people showed up. They like the trinkets. It is a nice day outside. A little cool, crisp, not raining, which is disappointing. I know I'm the only one in Seattle who loves the rain, still. Met a few new people. Some had never even heard of Threads. They just found it on the meetup website. But that's a nice thing about going to these types of events, is you would meet people that you would otherwise not meet. And you don't have people who have similar interests getting together. Serendipity, right up the nose. Okay, it would not be a YouTube video unless something happened. Anybody guess? I don't need trolls in the comments. I got them in the actual video. It's the famous Fremont troll. Ah, elevator's right here. The hell it is. Apparently I'm being a tourist today. But what am I going to do? Drink coffee all afternoon? I mean, if only there were some form of entertainment. Okay, well, there's that. Is that who I think it is? It is. But he's not in Seattle anymore. This is where I got my blue snaggletooth figure. That's not just Starbucks, it's the first one. God, I hope so. Ugh. Yeah, it's all gone. Want me? I'll get you a piece. Of course I went for chocolate. Here we go. Dude, I wish I could have recorded one of the conversations I had. It was so awesome. We tripped nostalgic. He's substantially younger than me and was talking about retro tech, but it was still kind of retro tech for me as well. So it was really interesting talking to millennials, being a Gen Xer. Okay, now on to the dance. I remember years ago recording videos with my Creative Vado right about here and having it, I think, mounted somehow. Or maybe I held it. I can't remember at that point. But I used to say, Chris Perillo here. with 2 hands on the wheel and 4 eyes on the road, and then I would talk about some topic that was on my mind, some kind of trend that I thought was interesting. I did that. And those videos have got to still be on the channel somewhere, like buried under the sands of YouTube time. Rocket's got to go before Jedi and I can go. Rocket, let's go ahead and try to make a poopsicle. Want to walk down the dark alley? Let's do it.
No,
It's lit.
Dad, don't,
It'll be
don't.
fine.
Dad, no!
It'll be fine. Look.
Don't!
Okay, fine. This is probably the worst time to tell her I'm a wallflower. Daddy's not a party goer. I think the last time I was here was for when we produced Galax R a few years ago, collector event. I was dancing more than she was. She was trying to get me to stop. They played like all the classics, like the Hokey Pokey, Footloose, YMCA, like a ton of 80s music. I don't think I've ever, honestly, I've been to so many dances in my life, I don't think I've ever danced that much. I'm serious. Usually, it was a lot easier to do when you just didn't care what anybody thought. So I just didn't care what anybody thought. I just danced. That was the whole, you're going to get us copyright stricken. We're going to get this YouTube video demonetized and taken down now. Here's proof. Jedi was very embarrassed because I wouldn't stop moving for like once in my life. Dude, almost 20,000 steps today. I certainly hope you keep watching.